Hello everybody, and just here and welcome back to Kaiju Hachigo episode 10, in which we will probably mostly see the fight with number 10. Whether it will be a fight carried entirely by Hoshina or Kafka will join, that remains to be seen, but I have a good feeling that we will see Kafka henshin and take part in the fight as well. I mean, Soshiro is barely holding on, so, right? He needs a hero. He needs a hero at the end of the night, and he's gotta be strong, and he's gotta be fast, and he's gotta be greater than life. Right, in the previous episode, what exactly happened? Well, the headquarters were attacked. They were attacked by wyvern-type kaiju, as well as by a big red humanoid kaiju. Which is an attack not only weird because a humanoid kaiju is taking part in it, but also because it seems coordinated, and because wyvern types never actually work together. Wyvern-type kaiju always attack alone. Whenever they were spotted, whenever the defense force had to fight them, they were always alone. They just don't like working together. But there is someone who was able to not only override that behavior and order them around to do his bidding of, supporting him in combat, but also someone with enough wit to realize that, hey, that's the headquarters. Instead of just fighting randomly in the streets of Tokyo or wherever we are, we can just go there and nip the problem in the bud. Let's kill all the humies inside of the base, and, it's gonna be good. No one's gonna bother us anymore. So the humanoid kaiju seem not only exceptional because they're strong, but also because, they have their wits about them, and they control greater masses of smaller kaiju. And even the wyvern types of their own, they are a tough nut to crack. They only have a weak spot on their back, which is not a big deal if you're fighting just a single wyvern, as it's usually the case, right? One soldier takes their attention, the other one sneaks behind and shoots, and boom, the wyvern is done. Very simple and easy way. But it becomes a little bit harder when there is multiple who coordinate and cover each other's weak spots. And now we're starting to have a problem. Until Kikoru. Until Kikoru enters the battlefield with her great axe that has some laser. The kaiju have this horn that's called something organ. Something organ, laser organ, I'm gonna call it, because it always allows those kaiju to shoot lasers from their mouth or stuff like that. And one of those is inside of Kikoru's axe, and that allows her to do various attacks, like shockwave, or big shockwave, or wide shockwave, or other variations of a shockwave. And each and every one of them is devastating to the wyvern type kaiju. She doesn't need to aim for the weak spots, she just crunches through the armor as if it's nothing. And it's not without reason that she's been deemed the third most powerful member of the defense force on site in the headquarters, right after Mina and Soshiro. Of course, she can't be everywhere at once, so other teams are, keeping the other wyverns occupied until Kikoru can get there, and she's not alone either, because she teamed up with Reno, who has enough wits about him to take the cryo rounds with him. Again, cryo rounds come in clutch, because they're able to freeze the wings on those wyverns to drop them to the ground. Kikoru uses melee weapons, so she can't, exactly jump up there and smash the wyvern in the sky, so she needs the support of someone who's going to be able to bring the wyvern down to the ground where she can reach it. And of course, the biggest bit of the episode, the piece de resistance, was the fight of Soshiro versus number 10. Number 10 is very, very, very tanky and can regenerate very quickly and can move its core to dodge attacks and is also fast to boot and hits strong enough to destroy Soshiro in a single hit. Basically a very overpowered endgame character that Soshiro is kinda under-leveled for. Number 10 got the designation of a Dai Kaiju, right? So the big, strong kaiju. Other Dai Kaijus, I believe, are Kafka. I'm not sure if number 9 is classified as a Dai Kaiju. I don't think it was mentioned, so probably not yet. But yeah, he's classified as a Dai Kaiju, 9.2, I believe, strength, while Kafka was classified at like 9.4, 9.6, something like that, so chances are Kafka will actually be necessary in the fight. Soshiro is, of course, holding on his own, took off the limiters, it was able to deal plenty of damage to number 10, but not quite enough. Number 10 remains undefeated, regenerated, and ready to fight, and loving every single moment of it. Because that's why Red is here, as far as we know, right? From his own words, he is here to fight strong opponents. He was fighting Kaiju, Kaiju weak. I hear strong human, I go fight strong human. Rival, rival, rival. Right? That's what drives him, essentially. And he found a rival in Soshiro, or at least a nice pastime. He was driven close enough to defeat number 10 by Soshiro that he needed to transform grow my monster Rita Repulsa beam style, and so he grew to a big size. Conservation of mass means nothing. He turned into a bunch of goop first, then grew into a big humanoid form, and now Soshiro is not going to have such an... He wasn't having an easy time to begin with. Now he's going to have an even harder time fighting number 10, because there is also the size discrepancy, size difference, right? Like one punch from number 10 and it covers a large area, so Soshiro is not going to be able to dodge that quickly. And that's where we finished. Yeah, that's where we ended. Soshiro in trouble, number 10 growing, Kikoru kicking ass, fighting the wyverns, and Reno giving those meaningful but also very how do I say it, very jinxy words, right? Like, remember Kafka senpai, don't you don't you henshin, don't you reveal yourself, be careful, right? We know that right after those words have been spoken, there's no other choice for Kafka but to completely deny them and henshin right on the spot. And that's probably what's gonna happen. That's exactly what I expect. Soshiro getting pushed back ever so slightly, not being able to manage, maybe issuing an order of retreat to everybody, and then Kafka appearing ex machina, and Kafka and Soshiro fighting hand in hand. Soshiro probably not knowing who he's fighting hand in hand with, but probably taking what he can get, right? If this, humanoid kaiju wants to help me, I'm gonna take it. If it turns on me after the fight is done, I mean, sure, so be it, I'm gonna fight it, but now there's a bigger threat in front of me, and this dude also wants to fight it, so, enemy of my enemy is my friend, so I'm gonna use the opportunity. I would love if that actually happened. That would be so fucking cool if Kafka were to maybe save Soshiro, right? And show that, hey, that's my goodwill, I saved you, I could have finished you, but I blocked this hit, and now you're alive, and now we can fight together, right? That would be so fucking dope. I hope it happens. I really hope it does. But we'll see what happens, of course, in this episode. But to do that, you will need your subs to follow along with me. I'm gonna need my sound to hear what's going on in the show. And I'm gonna have to ask you for support the channel if you want monetarily on Patreon, YouTube down below, or not. Share my content, spread the word, cost you nothing, helps a lot. On Patreon you can get some early access. And with that we can start watching episode 10 of Kaiju Hachigo in 3, 2, 1, go! Okay, bit of Last Time on Dragon Ball Z. It's strong, it's smart, yeah, it also has emotions. Something that kaiju don't, usually have. Rivals! Rivals! Okay, I guess we're getting a best of Soshiro montage. Right, there's also this, where he got so strong that Kafka just passively received news of its presence without even being henshin first. 9.2, right? 9.0, okay. That's even easier then for Kafka to defeat. Yeah, opening time. Wait, isn't... Yeah, I was about to ask, isn't Soshiro technically stronger then? Because Soshiro is, I think, like 9.2-ish. But I'm not sure how does the like kaiju ranking compare to human ranking. Is it like 1-to-1, where a 9.0 human has no issues defeating an 8.0 kaiju solo? Or is it completely, those two rankings are completely parallel, completely tangent, not parallel, tangent, where they have absolutely no like comparison one to another. Because I don't think they are 1-to-1. If they were, then like Kikoru, Reno, and maybe Iharu, the three of them alone would probably be able to defeat like a 9.0 or 8.8-ish Daikaiju. Like 3 versus 1. I don't know. Secret revealed? That's the title. Okay, I guess I know what to expect then. Unless it's a misdirection and a completely different secret is going to be revealed. Come on, Kafka. We need you. Yep, you're needed, mate. Okay, I'm gonna crank up the music a little. Okay, he can still pierce the skin. I was afraid it's going to be like completely impervious to attacks now. Because, he grew, so the thickness of his carapace would grow as well. Yeah, let's not attack the, like, toothy mouth. Yeah, you're just giving it paper cuts, essentially. We need bigger caliber. We need someone like Mina. Or someone like Kafka, of course. Oh, what's that? Hitting your limits? Yep. Okay, so there's a limit. Time limit on maximum release. Interesting. Is it something that came up before? I guess it makes sense now why they're always doing so much setup when Mina has to attack, right? They do all the setup, she drops in, shoots once, twice, thrice, and then retreats immediately. Okay, cool. That's an interesting limitation. Because otherwise it would also make no sense why they're not fighting at 100% at all time, right? Why would Soshiro not fight all the random tiny little kaiju at 100% or 92 if he can reach those heights, right? Automatic safeguards, that's good. Nothing visibly broken, at least. The internal organs could be pulverized for all we know, but... Little did you know, old man. No, I'm not going to give up, old man. I want to fight the kaijus. Yeah, never had any doubts. Okay, where are you, Kafka? Not much. You weren't able to do much at maximum release. Even less now. Buildings don't make great rivals. I'm just gonna tell you ahead of time. Kafka block? No, not yet. Okay. So he's still able to manage, he's still able to damage it even without maximum release. That's good to know. At least the wyverns are not going to pose a threat if all of them are going to kamikaze. That's why you need everybody you can get. Oh, another person touched by Mina. So many people's careers in the Defense Force are centered around her, right? Either a reason that they even got the idea to join it, or just straight up allowing them to join. Yeah? Exactly, you're going to complement each other perfectly. She needs a close range CQC guard, essentially, while she's busy setting up the BFG, right? Yeah? They actually make a perfect power couple here. Trying to carve your way to the core? No, not really. Yeah, number 6 get grabbed. That's the weakness of a melee combat. You need to get close to the enemy. Come on, Kafka. Come on, don't leave the boy hanging. Exactly. I mean, what is he supposed to do? What the fuck is he supposed to do, Reno? Yeah. Oh, I like the... Oh, Mina. Hello. Technically, Mina wins, but sure. I can see that viewpoint as well. So what's with the secret revealed? Like Soshiro's background. It's not like it was a particular mystery, though, was it? So I can't really say that knowing Soshiro's motivations is a secret revealed. You're not having the best aim there, Mina. Also, I love that the tiger served as her, like, you know, back thing. Is that why she has the tiger with her? To support uh, the force of the cannon. That's much lower. Cutting at the tendons. Assuming you can reach tendons at 63. And it can regenerate instantly, so you're not going to do much in the first place. Kikoru! Kikoru ex machina. Oh. Huh? Okay. Makes sense, yeah. Yeah, the shockwave just got in and blew up from the inside, basically. Cool. All right. Teamwork, yet again. That's fucking teamwork. Already, with just one hit. Yeah, gave a clean shot for Mina. Still not reaching the core, eh? Yeah, everybody's here. Don't let it regenerate. Yeah, exactly. Is the wound no longer there? No, it is here. Okay. I thought it's already regenerated. So what's the plan, Kafka? And what's taking Mina so long? Well, shit. Right on time? 96. Yeah, that's quite a bit more. Miss. No, direct hit. Okay, that's good. Hopefully it's not going to be able to regenerate from this state. Number 9 isn't here, so I don't think he's going to be able to reverse the liquefaction. So what's the secret revealed again? Is it going to regenerate? No. It's actually down, huh? And Kafka on the sidelines? Kafka on the sidelines, yep. Yeah. Have it with less snot. That's also true, yeah. Yeah. You already overheated once. Oh? What did Bakko notice? Number 9? Or some other Daikaiju? What the fuck is that? My question exactly. Oh, third phase? Yoju bomb? Okay. Yeah, maybe don't shoot the fucking nuke in the sky. Kafka? Still alive, eh? Kafka, we have no other choice. Down, down, down. Down, down, down. You recognize those moves, don't you? Yeah. Partial henshin? Yep. Everybody's seen it! I thought it's gonna be a slow reveal, right? First, Soshiro sees it, then maybe Mina, but no! It's fucking everybody! And we still have the time. Down. Down, down, down. He's helping you, shut the fuck up. Destroy this nuke before you get shot. Does he have any other choice, though? Oh, boosters. One punch. Rocket punch. Yep. Oh, that's a great visual. Oh, it looks like the kaiju skin is peeling off from his human skin. Yeah, he's taking it up into space so that it can blow up safely, maybe destroy Mars, but, you know, who cares about Mars? Was it enough? Not quite, huh? Okay, no, they're alive. Buildings are collapsing, but everybody seems to be perfectly fine. Oh, Kafka is shielding them as well. And the cliffhanger will be whether Kafka survived or not, right? That's gonna be the cliffhanger for the episode. Yeah, it's peeling off. It's as if his kaiju form is not his, like, form, but rather an exosuit layer. I mean, sure. Yeah, at least they're not killing him on the spot. Probably the best outcome we could have hoped for. The best realistic outcome. Because the best possible outcome would be everybody cheering for him. But that was not gonna happen. So I'm gonna take it what I can. An alternative would be, I know, Kafka running away and staying in the hiding and trying to, I know, help the defense force from the shadows still until they realize that he's helping them. You know, this is actually a good outcome, I feel. He's gonna be taken into custody. He's gonna tell his story. They're gonna run some tests on him, probably. And maybe things are gonna be explained. Actually, oh, another Daikaiju appears. They can't manage to fight it. Headquarters, release the Kafka. Something like that. Maybe. Release number 8. Okay. Nothing after credits. Let's watch it again, shall we? Yes, we shall, as we always do. Recap and opening. Vice Captain can't handle something that dies by himself. Yeah, but he doesn't have to handle it by himself. Because that's what he has Mina for. Essentially, that's that's how they work. If Soshiro can defeat a kaiju of some sort, sure, he should. He's gonna defeat it, no problem. If he can't defeat it, he's there to keep that kaiju out of trouble, right? Keep it in place so it doesn't rampage, killing people and destroying the place until Mina arrives, until Mina sets up, charges her gun and shoots. That's his role, to like anchor the kaiju in place and keep it from doing more damage than it normally would. Lots of cool attacks. Lots of cool animation. Yeah. Lots of really cool animation. Wait, no, it wasn't on once. My blades aren't cutting all the way through. Yeah. Because it's huge, because it's scaled up, because it has a lot of tissue until you get into the functional tissue. Yeah, exceeding operational limits. 10 minutes is the limit you can work at your maximum capacity. I wonder when, or rather where does that start mattering from? From like what rank, I guess, right? Like if you're a 30% and you work at 30%, you fight at 30%, do you also overheat? Or is it only if you're fighting like above your limits, like you're 30% and you're fighting at 35%, then you have a 10-minute limit? Or does it start mattering only, the higher you go? Basically, like, not diminishing returns, I guess, kinda. But the stronger you are, the higher you are on the scale, the less time you have until overheat. So if you're a 20%, then you can fight at 20% for a whole entire day. If you're 50%, then you can fight at 50% for like 12 hours. If you're 90, then you can fight at 90 for 15 minutes. And if you're 100, then you can fight at 100 for, I don't know, 15 seconds or something like that, right? Some sort of a scale that isn't fully like proportional, like, I don't know, asymptomatic scale, I guess you could say, like that. I know. I don't think it's come up, the like time limits of using maximum capacity. I think the first time we've seen even like taking off the limiters was the first fight of Soshiro versus Kafka. It hasn't come up since, it hasn't come up before, so we didn't really learn much about it. And interestingly, the wyverns can self-destruct. Is it every kaiju that can, or is it just the wyverns, I wonder? And of course, the kaiju can morph. It can have eyes on the back if it so desires. It doesn't have blind spots if it doesn't want to have blind spots. Soshiro is opening his eyes a lot during this fight, I noticed. And I really like it as a detail. You know? I really like it because it signifies that he's actually taking the fight like seriously. Often when you have a character who has closed eyes, who is designed with closed eyes, then when shit hits the fan, then they open their eyes. But then they fight with closed eyes again, right? The moment of opening eyes is the significant one, and then we just go back to status quo of the eyes being closed. Not so much in this case. He actually needs to give it his all, right? He actually needs to have his eyes wide fucking open. Breaking the limits or reaching the limits, that's not enough. He also needs to like physically focus on the fight, so his eyes need to be open at all times. It's not just a magic limit off that gives him the strength and the power and the combat ability, but also the fact that he like physically and normally, I guess in a normal way, focuses on what he's doing by just keeping his eyes open. Yeah, he's still alive, thankfully. Lost maximum release. Yeah, you're gonna have to fight under the maximum release. Under limit. Air slasher, yeah, a bunch of slashes, but they really don't do much. And why is my camera flickering again? Whoop. We good? We should be good. And we get a bit of backstory on him. He was always told, your swords are useless. Kaiju are fought with rifles, with guns, with pistols, with all of that. It's a ranged fight, right? We're seeing more and more giant kaiju. Someone with a melee weapon. You're not gonna do shit against the giant kaiju. When we were still fighting those like tiny little ones, then sure, yeah, they can get inside of buildings, so some CQC combat is actually beneficial, but they're growing bigger and bigger. Your sword is not gonna cut deep enough. They're also out in the open. We don't need to fight them in close quarters, so melee weapons are kinda passe nowadays. But yeah, there was someone who saw potential in him. She told me something else. Mina. Short-haired Mina. Told him that she actually needs him because he's going to complement her fight style, her combat style. where she has no aptitude for melee combat whatsoever, not even able to use kitchen knives. It wouldn't surprise me if the running gag about Mina, once we get a little bit later into the show, to where Mina becomes like part of the main character party instead of some far-reaching goal, would be that Mina can't cook. She seems the kind of a character. and then it would be a different kind of show. But I can fully see Mina trying to prepare a nice meal for Kafka, and it's just a bunch of purple steaming slop. But Kafka still eats it and smiles because Mina prepared it for him. It would be a completely different show. But I can see that happening. I absolutely can. If there were like OVAs or I know like Yonkoma accompanying a series or something like that, I could absolutely see that happening. And yeah, will you clear a path for me? Right. She needs time to set up, she needs time to charge, and she can't have other kaiju rushing her while she's charging the big shot against the big kaiju. We've seen it in this very episode, right? She was busy charging the shot. She can't exactly pay attention to the wyvern that flew over. She needs someone to take care of that, of the little tiny guys, so she can focus on the big ones. It makes perfect sense, actually. I love it. I'll protect it if it kills me. Bunch more slashes. They still don't do anything. This is the moment when I thought that Kafka surely is going to jump into action. But no. He started to, he wanted to, but no. Mina appeared, set up, and she really can't aim that well, can she? Yeah. Skipping the procedures. Yeah, this I wanted to see. The tiger is keeping her from feeling the recoil. I love it. I was wondering what's the tiger even doing here, right? Why the fuck would she have a tiger with her? I guess it makes sense on two fronts. One, the tiger is there also to guard her in close combats. Should Soshiro be busy with something else and there were like small fry attacking her, the tiger is there to deal with that. And also a backrest for her to stop her from, flying off. A dog would be too small. A robot, I guess some sort of a mechanoid could be deployed with her, but where's the style? So we're taking a Siberian tiger, the biggest tiger there is. Kind of surprised it's not like a liger. A liger is even better than a Siberian. But yeah, Siberian tiger makes sense to, for Mina to use. I really, really like it. It really gives like a purpose to this tiger besides just the rule of cool, It's regenerating fast. Thoracic vertebrae between around 4th to 6th. What the fuck is a thoracic vertebrae? Oh, I guess those like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, those like spikes on its back, probably. Yeah, Kafka's still not retreating, still getting into fight. Not henshined, but he still wants to do what he can. Limit its mobility, not easy to do when you can't cut through his skin deep enough to even damage the tendons, let alone when the kaiju is strong enough to immediately regenerate those tendons. This is such a cool entrance. This is such a cool entrance for Kikoru. Oh, my power output's too low, what do I do? Well, where can we look for some more power output, right? Here she comes. Here's Kikoru. Such a cool entrance for her. And amazing music, by the way. And this, a little bit, anticlimactic, this big entrance, the big swing, and it just bounces off. Shit, how strong is Soshiro exactly then? If Kikoru, who was able to one-shot the wyverns that the rest of the squad had horrible issues fighting, she was able to just one-shot them. And she's not able to even scratch the skin on this one. while Soshiro is able to cut it with not much issue, right? How big of a power discrepancy is there between the regular officer and Kikoru, and then between Kikoru and Soshiro, right? But again, teamwork, 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 good thinking. He's gonna cut open the tough shell, the thing that he can reach with his swords deep enough to cut, and then Kikoru attacks the soft flesh with her, with her shockwave. The soft flesh blows up, and that's how we damage it. Perfect. One single hit. I guess not one single hit. She's been fighting before, so I guess this was like the last hit she had in her before she started to overheat. Is overheat... Actually, I think overheat might be based on like your ability usage, so to speak, right? Like Soshiro was using his ability, super speed, at all time. So his overheat is limited by time, how long he can stay in his like overload form with super speed and super strength. Kikoru, meanwhile, uses her powers very like distinctly, right? Every hit that creates a shockwave that uses the power of the axe, that's a use of her ability. So it's not counted on time, it's counted in hits, how many times she can use the attack, right? Channeled spell versus distinct cast spell, essentially. Maybe that's it. Overheated indeed. And look how big of an effect it had on her. Completely slumped to the ground, had to be dragged away by Reno, right? Meanwhile, Soshiro, even overheated, even after overheating, the safeguards kicked in, but he still is able to move, he's still able to fight. Another big discrepancy, like, difference, power scaling difference between Soshiro and Kikoru. She still has a ways to go. I like it. I actually like it that we are shown those, like, ultra powerful humans who are still having trouble fighting the ultra powerful kaiju, and there's just a few of them. This means that Kikoru, a character who already is like super powerful in the grand scheme of things, in the on the scale of all the recruits that we are mostly following, Kikoru is super powerful, but she still has room to grow. She did not reach the apex yet. Good. That's how you do power scaling correctly, honestly. And yeah, one shot from Mina still was not able to destroy the core. Was able to reveal it, but not destroy it. And everybody's here. I like the significance of it. I don't know if it's like intended here. Is it just a cool moment of everybody's here, everybody's fighting, or does it have deeper significance of a little bit of a subversion, I guess, in that we are used, and even I assumed that who's going to finish this fight? Well, of course it's going to be Kafka, right? He's the protagonist. He's the sole person who can deal with this shit. Because we are kind of used to that, right? Demon Lord appears and starts attacking the village. Well, who's there to fight it? Not the royal army. It's gotta be the hero. It's gotta be the protagonist with a shiny sword and superpowers, right? That's how it always is. No. Teamwork. That also works. Like, sure, Kafka would probably defeat number 10, no problem. But the rest of the people here are no slouches either. And also, it wasn't a win of any single person. It wasn't Soshiro's win. It wasn't Mina's win. It was everybody's win. Everybody contributed. Teamwork. Cool. Really, really cool. Yeah, this... the moment where he was about to be swallowed... Yeah, this was the moment I thought Surely now Kafka will reveal himself. Maybe just a partial henshin, he's going to jump and tackle Soshiro out of harm's way. Or maybe he's going to, I don't know, summon a lightning to disturb this attack or something like that, you know, from the shadows. Not actually showing himself, but just punching the ground really strong to create a shockwave to destabilize that kaiju, something like that. I really was, you know, expecting the hero to fight the demon lord, because of course it's gotta be the hero to do that. Of course it's gotta be the hero to stab the you know, the demon lord in the heart. That's how it's always done, after all. No, it's teamwork. Soshiro grabs attention, Mina shoots and hits, and a nice explosion. Yeah, big like inflation and burst into guts and gore. That's gonna be a lot of cleanup. New operational thing you gotta take care of: vaporize the fucking enemy, because even with the core destroyed, apparently the enemy can still be alive. Honju is down. Any moment now, any minute, any second, it's gonna rise back. That can't be it. That can't be it. Kafka didn't show his power. Kafka didn't kill the Demon Lord. The hero did not kill the Demon Lord. This can't be the end of the Demon Lord. It only counts when it's the hero who kills him, after all, isn't it? No, this can't be it. They're just faking us out. Of course they're just faking us out. See, it's going to regenerate right now so that Kafka has someone to fight, right? That's what's gonna happen. And then the next episode is going to be Kafka fighting the thing, right? We need to have this epic fight of Kafka versus the big bad, right? It has to happen. The hero has to fight the big bad. That's how it always goes. No. Again. Not quite. I like this, like, offhand establishing that, you know, Soshiro is exhausted and Mina also has like 1% left until she overheats, so nobody can realistically tackle that kaiju nuke. So who can do it? Well, we have only one person who's comparable in strength. Also, that is a lot of those wyverns. I thought there were like 30 of them in total. This is much more than 30. Like, much more than 30. And also, is it actually number 10 who controls them? I wonder. Number 10 should be dead. Should not, like, doesn't have the core. The head is only talking because of, like, brain impulses. Can it still really control the kaiju this way to order them to do that? Good question. Also, did nobody notice that before? That's a better question. I'm glad that we see this, like, a good and proper immediate explanation on like what the fuck is going on, right? It's not the third phase of number 10. It's not some sort of a third-party aliens arriving. It's not another kaiju. No, it's the wyverns who get in, inflate themselves to the, like, close to the point of bursting, and they're going to coordinate their explosion. 20 kilotons of TNT. Yeah, let's not shoot that. It looks like this fight is a draw. Yeah, you gotta vaporize the head, at least, whatever contains the brain. And of course, Kafka Ex Machina. Well, not Ex Machina. I use the term Ex Machina often as a stand-in for suddenly. I don't always mean it as, you know, in a bad, negative way where, oh, of course, you know, someone's appearing when they shouldn't. Of course, you know, God appears and rocks fall, everybody dies, right? I'm not using it in this way. I'm just using it as a stand-in for suddenly. I don't know why. I just do. So yeah, suddenly Kafka. And down, down, down. this track is going to be iconic for this show, isn't it? How's he so fast? Yeah, gee, I wonder. Good question, isn't it? And he shows himself to everybody. Absolutely everybody. Just out in the open, witness me. Everybody. Soshiro, Mina, Iharu, Haruichi, Aoi, Kingusa. Fucking everybody. Everybody present. Fortitude 9.8. Yeah, it's number 8. Indeed. I found myself liking him so much, right? I just turned a blind eye to the possibility. Yeah, but he's going to fight for you. That's the thing. I really expected the reveal to be slow and gradual, right? First, I fully expected Soshiro to learn of it first, right? And Soshiro deciding that, you know what, I'm not gonna tell anybody because Kafka is kind of, you know, helpful. Number 8 is kind of helpful. I'm gonna keep an eye on you though. And if you do as much as lift a finger in the direction that I don't like, I'm going to cut you the fuck down. But I'm going to allow your existence because you're useful. Right? I expected something like that to happen first. Then maybe someone, I don't know, someone else learns about his nature. Maybe Konomi, right? Sees some weird readings and it bothers her, right? Everybody just like hand waves it. Oh, you know, there was a big burst of energy. It's probably the you know, the sensors are malfunctioning again. It happened before, but she's like, no, actually, but it did happen, but it happened in the same exact way, like 3 times already. When the Kaiju number 8 appeared, what's going on there? And those readings are coming from Kafka, and she's not speaking up about it because maybe she's mistaken, right? Maybe she's just tripping, but she tries to get to the you know, to the bottom of it and discovers the secret. Then maybe it's someone less important, like, I don't know, Iharu or Haruichi or anybody. Then finally Mina discovers that fact, right? Slowly, gradually. I did not expect fucking everybody to see. Not just from his team, not just Mina and everybody underneath her, no, the other teams as well, right? The team led by, I don't have her portrait here, Tae? Maybe Tae. The redhead, right? The team led by that other dude. Oh, everybody who came here from other places in Japan, right? Everybody. Literally everybody. This is the exact opposite of what I expected, honestly. Not like in a bad way necessarily, because this means that we can kind of like rip the band-aid off early and deal with Kafka's nature early and enroll him like fully properly out in the open and no secrets into the program early. Then again, I wonder if the story is not actually going to lose something in the process. That's a good question, isn't it? Because if we just, you know, reveal it to everybody and we just deal with that fact, right? However it goes, however they deal with that fact, but Kafka comes back to active duty. Everybody knows that he's number 8. He's their, you know, ace in the sleeve, etc., etc. How is that different then from your everyday regular superpowers story, where the main guy has superpowers and climbs the ranks really fast and is the strongest, right? It kind of loses that bit of having to hide this power, having to use it in smart ways, having to learn it, how to use it partially, maybe, right? Having to learn partial henshin. That was important for Kafka not revealing his nature fully. He's not going to have to do that anymore, is he? If everybody knows his secret, he can just henshin just like that, and that's it. You know, no secrets, no need for partial henshins, no need to hide, no need to take care of anything, nothing. I wonder if maybe I'm overestimating how many people have seen it. Maybe it is actually just people from the HQ. From the no, the redhead is here, so at least she also knows. But maybe not everybody. Maybe we can still keep it a secret from like everybody, from like the top of the top brass, from the government, right? Maybe it's still a possibility. I wonder. Then again, we could also have some like different kind of stories, arcs to spice things up a little. We could have someone being particularly distrustful of Kafka, maybe even trying to sabotage him a little, right? We build that big, like, huge feeling of camaraderie between people in the team. This is bound to disturb that. How many people will still trust Kafka to have their back? How many of them will not? How many of them will start to shun him? Right? And we're gonna have to work through that, because that will cause issues during combat. If they refuse to help Kafka or refuse to be helped by him, that's bound to cause issues. Maybe we can switch to that sort of thing. Not immediate universal acceptance, but rather reluctant acceptance by the top brass, right? Like Soshiro acknowledges that, yeah, Kafka actually helped us. It's not a danger, so I'm gonna keep an eye on you when it's not closed, but you're allowed to fight. And Mina maybe gets convinced by Kafka telling her what he remembers from childhood, or I don't know, any number of things can happen. But people who are not as in the know, your Haruichis, your Aois, your Kingusas, right? Your Hakuas, your Hirotos, your Yoshimuras, they would not be readily accepting of this. Maybe that's something we can play with. Maybe. I really like this, like, sketchy style he gets when he henshins. And also really cool transformation. Those plates like slide apart, biological thrusters appear, everything with teeth, because of course you gotta have teeth. More thrusters on his arm. Yeah, and he flies away. Fly away now, fly away now, fly away. This makes me question the nature of his henshin. It really does. I was under the impression that his monstrous form, his kaiju form, is now his natural form, right? Like early on, Reno even, when Kafka was still working for the cleanup squad, right? He slipped up and his mouth turned, and Reno noticed that, which really tells me that his real form is the monster form, and he needs to put like conscious effort to remain a human. This kind of contradicts that, because this tells me that the kaiju form is just a shell on the outside. On the inside, he's still a normal human. So he just needs to not cover himself in this chitinous shell, and that's it. The other way around, where turning into a monster is the part that requires effort. It could be that both require effort, it could be that neither does, and they're, equivalent forms that he can just switch between. Maybe. But this really, really makes me question the nature of his monster form. It really seems like there is a human underneath some sort of a biological exosuit. Shields at max, explosion, and apparently shields are strong enough. And Kafka's support, they're strong enough to withstand 20 kilotons. Well, now I've done it. I expected the cliffhanger to be either Kafka falling to the ground unconscious, and we have completely no clue what's gonna happen, and the next episode starts with him maybe laying in a hospital, and we get a bit of relief. Oh, phew, they didn't execute him on the spot, they took him to the hospital. Then he tries to move, and ooh, chains, shit, there's like, he can move. Okay, so they're still cautious, right? And we get slowly into I don't know, into the realization, I guess, into the resolution of this whole thing, into the results of this reveal. Slowly, we're getting introduced to that. I was expecting something like that. Best case scenario, of course, everybody stands there and starts cheering, right? Kafka Hibino, right? Thank you for what you've done, but I have to take you into custody, or something like that, I expected. But no, it's completely like broken voice. She thought it's Kafka, but no, it's Kaiju that she hates so much. No, you're not Kafka. You're number 8. I had hopes that my childhood friend came here and got through all the screening and wanted to join me. And I was hoping for him to join me, but he turned out to be a kaiju. Shit. Who are you even at this point? Is Kafka still alive? Right? Yeah, that little, like, flicker in her eyes. On the outside, she has a steady resolve, but on the inside, there's emotion swelling up. And you can hear it in the voice as well, and in the music. I'm taking it into custody. Yeah, probably the best realistic outcome. For Kafka to get into custody, get questioned, get tested, everybody involved as well, Kikoru, Reno, right? Everybody also giving their statements. And maybe we can figure something out, right? Probably the best possible realistic outcome. Unrealistic best outcome would, of course, be, right, like everybody, woo, hooray, Kafka, we have a kaiju on our side, hooray, right? But it was not gonna happen. It was not gonna happen. Alas. Alas. Good episode, of course. This show really doesn't have bad episodes, does it? There was that one that was kind of like quickly paced, maybe. No. Yeah, there was that one that was kind of quickly paced. The one where number 9 escaped Kafka because Kafka lost his, focus. That was like my only criticism of this show so far, but other than that, every single episode was a certified banger, including this one. This is like... And it's episode 10. This is so weird about it, right? Because if this was episode 11... Actually, how many episodes do we have in total? 12, not 13, 12. If this was episode 11, then I can see episode 12 being the summary and a cliffhanger, right? We clean Kafka's name somehow and he can rejoin the force, or whatever we do. Maybe with a bit of cliffhanger of him entering the room of other recruits and how are they going to treat him? Wow. Wait for season 2, right? Something like that. I would have expected. If this was an earlier episode, sure, then we still have a whole like arc of Kafka's perceived like redemption, right? Of him proving his allegiance. Maybe again another attack on the headquarters, and Kafka breaks from his restraints and attacks the attackers and defends the base or something like that. But we're not going to do that in just 2 more episodes. There's not enough time. Although maybe. Actually, maybe. Depends how much time we're going to spend on testing Kafka. I could easily see an entire episode being people close to Kafka getting questioned, gathering all the information they have, running tests, talking around the round table. What are we gonna do with this fact, right? Soshiro, you fought him. You said that he didn't attack you. What do you think of it? Right? Stuff like that. I could easily see an entire episode being about that. But I can equally see the whole thing going forward without slowing down for a talky episode like that. I can fully see Kafka being placed in a cell behind laser bars in the headquarters in the at the beginning of the next episode. Then halfway through the episode, number 9 attacks, infiltrates the base, somehow gets to Kafka. That raises the alarms. Final episode, Kafka defeats number 9 or temporarily chases it off and clears his name that way because he was inside of the base. He had every opportunity to destroy it from the inside. We thought that, hey, maybe number 9 came here to rescue number 8, but no, number 8 killed number 9. After number 8 helped us so many times and defeated our enemies so many times, it's high time we admit that he's probably friendly, right? I could easily see that happening as well. So I wonder which one it's going to be, unless they're going to hit us with a split core. Split cores seem to be very much en vogue nowadays, especially where you have 12 episodes in one bunch, then a season of a break, and then 12 more episodes. Wouldn't surprise me if something like that happened. It happened to Sasaki to Pichan. It happened to... I think Frieren actually aired continuously. But there was one more show at least that I can recall, whose name I cannot recall, that also aired as a split core. So wouldn't surprise me if Kaiju Hachigo also had that, because besides leaving us at a huge cliffhanger in episode 12, or everything getting resolved one way or another in episode 12, I can't see any other way. And everything getting resolved in the span of 2 episodes would feel kinda too fast. I guess it depends how they handle it. But I think it would feel a little bit too fast for me. We'll see. We'll see. I can fully see the season just ending with a cliffhanger and hopes and dreams for season 2. Maybe, hopefully. I mean, I would love a season 2 one way or another, no matter how this one ends. This is, honestly, Kaiju No.8 is the highlight of my week. Legitimately. This is probably the best show that I'm watching this season. Make no mistake, I also enjoy Spice and Wolf. I enjoy Unnamed Memory in a way. I enjoyed Kaito Otome. I enjoy Sentai Daishikaku. I enjoy all of those shows. But this is the one that actually gets me hyped. Oh, it's today. I'm gonna be able to watch it today. Holy shit, it's today, Kaiju No.8, right? This is the show this season that really has me excited for it, so I would really not mind more. But right now, I guess that's gonna be it from me for today, but maybe you guys have something more to add on the topic of this episode. If so, say so in the comments down below. What did you think of it, of my reaction, my theories, stuff like that. And no spoilers, of course. Like this video if you liked it, subscribe to be notified of future videos, not only Kaiju Hachigo, but also aforementioned Yuki Yuuna Season 2 airing soon. Unnamed Memory, Spice and Wolf, Sentai Daishka, Kukaito Otome, plenty others. Click the bell to be notified of when those episodes come out and when I go live, because I do sometimes support the channel. If you want monetarily on Patreon, down below where for $10 a month you get early access to non-seasonal shows like Yuuki, Yuuna, and for just $1 you get a role on the Discord and a place in the credits. You can support me directly on YouTube as well through membership, super thanks, super chats. And if you don't want to do that either, no problem, you don't have to pay a cent. Support the channel by sharing my content, spreading the word, it costs you nothing and helps a lot. And with that out of the way, that's gonna be it from me for today. So as always, you guys do all the good stuff, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Cheers! And here's my one for Patreons: QB, Without the Nets, Rene, Yukiala, Ishtamuk, Dr. Watakama, Sir Marsh, Fassel, and Hans Peter. And you can join them as well without having to reveal any of your secrets.